What's up, y'all? You already know it's Mr. Hood Love Mikey B. Today I'll be talking to y'all about the National Guard deployed by the governor of New York amid corrections officer strikes at a lot of different New York prisons, man. Yo, it's nasty out here, man. It's a lot. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot. Like this is like the last time the National Guard has been deployed in New York State has been since the Attica riots in the 1970s. So for the National Guard to have to be deployed and be sent to these prisons, it's really getting nasty out here, man. We gotta really be on point because it's really nasty out here. You know what I'm saying? I got some articles I'm gonna put y'all in tune with. Probably got a few guests coming through. You know, the link is in the chat. Brothers want to pull up and speak. You know, but it's really nasty. I was just on IG Live with Moshe, talking about this right now, and it seems like this whole thing is due to what's about to come out with the Robert Brooks case, because all corrections officers right now are not striking. It's only a certain percentage of them that's doing this. They're not being backed by the union. It's really crazy, man. And you know, when I was in prison serving my time, especially being in maximum security facilities, I always used to think like, yo, what if the COs just left us in here in these cells? You know, what if something crazy happens in the world and we left stuck in these cells? How are we gonna get out? How are we gonna even live or get food if they just leave us in these cells, man? It was like, yo, I was always thinking like, man, I gotta get out of these maxes. I gotta get to a medium because you know stuff get different in the world, man. They get different fast. You know what I'm saying? Yo, so let me read one of these articles for y'all. You heard? I got some stuff on Donald Trump. He's bugging out here too. Let me take these glasses off so I can see. The New York governor signed the executive order on Wednesday activating members of the National Guard to the state's correctional facilities. I think I just had somebody pop in here. My brother, we got official prison talk in the building. We got Joey P.
What's up, bro?
Yo, salute, official prison talk. We locked in, and we live on Hood Love TV as well. So everybody tap in, hit that like button, share the live. We got a great show for y'all. So I was just reading one of the articles, and after I finish reading this article, we can start breaking it down and conversing. You heard? If y'all brothers want to pull up or sisters want to pull up and say a piece, hit the link, come through. You know, just keep it respectful like we always do at this time. You know what I'm saying? So here's the article that I was reading. New York Governor Kathy Hochul signed the executive order on Wednesday activating members of the National Guard to the state's correctional facilities. The action comes as corrections officers of New York prisons are on strike to protest working conditions. The work stoppage is illegal under state law. Right, hold on. Let me. Commissioner of the New York State Department of Corrections Community Supervision appeared to suggest staff cuts in a February 10th internal memo to prison superintendents obtained by WKBW. I guess that spurred these officers to do this because they cut more staff in these prisons. All right. It says over 3,500 National Guard members. Yo, mute yourself real quick, bro. Over 3,500 National Guard members have been deployed to support and supplement correctional staff to ensure safety and security. The members will assist with distributing meals and medication and help maintain order in facilities. The executive order also authorized additional overtime compensation for corrections officers and other prison staff who are reporting for duty and working to secure the facilities. While I am confident we will resolve this illegal strike, I am grateful for the thousands of correction officers and staff that are continuing to report for duty. Thank them for their continued service and for doing the right thing, the governor said in a statement. The state also filed an injunction under the Taylor law and a judge granted a temporary restraining order mandating officers on strike to cease illegal activity. Taylor law, a law that took effect in 1967, prohibits strikes by public employees. What people are saying, Holcomb in a statement, these disruptives, quote, these disruptive and unsanctioned work stoppages by some corrections officers must end as they are jeopardizing the safety of their colleagues, the prison population, and causing undue fear for the residents and the surrounding communities. New York State Corrections Officers and Police Benevolent Association, NYSCOPBA, in a statement obtained by WTN, quote, the staff that have gathered outside of both facilities and who refused to enter the facility for their respective shifts was not in any way sanctioned by NYSCOPBA. At both facilities, staff chose not to enter for their work shifts as a result of their discontentment with current working conditions. What happens next? National Guard members are expected to report for duty for the coming days. That's the Newsweek. That's an article from Newsweek. It was just published shortly about today at 7:34. So what's up, Joey P, man? It's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. Yo, salute to everybody pulling up. I see y'all in the building. Yo, what up, Joey P? What you think about this, man? It's crazy out here, you heard?
National Guards? We talk about the National Guards, the Army, the military are inside these prisons. I think, for me personally, man, I think they're going too far with this. I don't know what tactic they're using or what type of money they're trying to squeeze out the government to, display this type of military presence. I think it's some type of gimmick to it personally, because they got enough correctional officers to maintain the prisons.
Bro. They got more than enough, bro. They got more than enough police to maintain the prisons because they shut down the prisons. What they mad about is all these prisons being shut down, like the governor said. The commissioner already said they're about to cut more. They're about to cut more jobs. They don't want them to cut more jobs, and that's why they're doing this. That's why they're stepping out.
That's a fact, bro. And if you realize, like, in the history of me being incarcerated, right? Every prison I ever been to, they had probably like 2 correctional officers, maybe 1 inside of a dorm, right?
Right.
So what changes now in 2025 from 1995 or 1998 or 2005 that makes this a big change where they need military? I don't get that shit.
No, they are making a problem. This is what they do. And a lot of times in these correctional facilities, they make the problem. They are the ones that make the problem. And then once they make the problem, they say we need more security from the problem that they made.
Yeah.
Right. This is what they do. So they have what I'm learning is they have the National Guard at Attica, Greenhaven, Warkill Correction Facility, and Elmira. Those 4 facilities, I'm hearing the National Guard is already there. This is something that, like I said, when I started this is something I always thought about, just the police walking out, the COs walking out and leaving us locked in maximum security cells, bro. That was like a nightmare of mine. Like, how am I going to get out of here if they leave us locked in these cells? You know what I'm saying? Just walk off. A calamity happens, something big happens in the world, and they just leave us locked in the facilities, bro.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time, you heard?
I thought about that many times too. When you're doing decades in prison, those thoughts are gonna cross your mind. But we also know, for people who's been in prison, that there's a gimmick going on. There's some big gimmick going on right now, because we know and understand that 1 or 2 correctional officers can maintain a dorm. They've been doing it for years. So I understand what's the change. If they got prisons that they're closing down, automatically they should have officers that need a job, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All they do is transfer. They transfer one prison to another prison. They do it all the time. So I think, for me personally, I think it got a lot to do with Robert Brooks. I think it got a lot to do with, the ramifications of what happened. with these bad correctional officers. I think they're just trying to act like they're doing something, but they really doing nothing, Mikey B, man. They ain't doing nothing, but
So check this out. It says what happened at Collins Correctional Facility. Collins Correctional Facility went on lockdown Wednesday morning following a group of prisoners barricading themselves inside of a dorm. What's going? They're going crazy up there right now, bro.
they wow.
They are going crazy up there right now. You heard?
For sure. They barricaded themselves in behind.
I'm looking at it now. You heard?
Yo, that shit is crazy.
February 17th. February 17th. It says Buffalo, New York, several corrections officers are striking outside of Collins Correctional Facility Monday. This was Monday. The New York State Correctional Officers and Police Benevolent Association said that the job action was not in any way sanctioned by the NYSCOPBA. Yeah. However, union members are calling it a strike and admit they are breaking state law by doing so. Hold on. And they are breaking state law by doing so. State law prohibits public employees from striking, which can lead to fines and other discipline. There are also correction officers picketing at a facility in Elmira and at Groveland Correctional Facility in Livingston County, with staff at the facility refusing to enter for their shifts. They're striking because of working conditions. Union Representative Kenny Gold said they've had a lot of incidents recently and they don't believe they're being heard. It's something that's been ongoing for quite some time. They're doing something they know is illegal to try to garner attention for what's going on inside those walls and fences. Prison guards are demanding mandated body scans for visitors, scans of incoming mail to inmates, a $5,000 bonus for new employees, and no overtime mandates over 16 hours, according to the union. They also wish to reverse the Humane Alternatives to Long-Term Solitary Confinement, HALT, Act. They want to put people in long-term confinement. They want to confine us for longer times, right? The New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, DOCCS, said in a statement that the job actions initiated by some rogue NYSCOPBA members are illegal and unlawful. Some employees currently inside the jail on Monday morning are not being allowed to leave, Gold said. Visits at both facilities have been canceled until further notice. DOCCS said it is committed to engaging the union to return the officers to work and resume operations to facilities. Since Commissioner Daniel took office, the state negotiated a new labor agreement with NYSCOPBA that includes yearly salary increases in location pay, and paid paternal leave, DOCCS said. We have also instituted new policies and procedures to reduce the amount of contraband entering our facilities to increase the safety of all within our facilities. We value our employees and are dedicated to continuing the recruiting efforts to increase security staffing in all DOCCS correctional facilities to restore the important work-life balance for all. Quote. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. We got a lot of work to do, bro. We got a lot of work to do, bro. Unmute yourself, bro. You on mute.
Hey, listen, bro. Hearing what you saying and being the person who's been in the joint, this shit is crazy to me because they use a lot of big words, right? They use a lot of distractions to blind the public from what's really going on. So for me personally, I know for being incarcerated for 22 years and shit that they don't have no correctional officer problem. People sign up every day to be correctional officers, right? You know what I mean?
That's cap, bro. That's cap. All this is cap. They are instituting this because of what happened with RIP Robert Brooks. That's what this is all about. They're mad that those police officers are being prosecuted and they can be prosecuted for legal lynchings that are going on in prison. That's what we see right now. This is a fight against that. Tomorrow, they're supposed to be releasing a lot of this paper and a lot of those indictments. Remember? So all of this is to preempt that and to say, yo, No officers was hurt. That man was cuffed and killed. Would you hurt your hands or your feet when you stomped him out?
And they did it right on camera.
This is what you see going on, bro. And I'm not saying things don't happen to officers, but the officers in these facilities initiate a lot of this stuff. I've been in these prisons. They start the violence. They arming people to hit other inmates. They arousing the inmates. They calling people snitches. They putting tags on people and trying to get people hurt and hit in these facilities. That's what's going on in these jails. What they're fighting back against is the reduction of the state inmates that are there. They're looking for job security. They want us to be locked up in hell for longer periods of time so they can make more money off of us. That's what y'all see going on right now. That's what's going on. They are mad at all these prisons being locked down, and the new person just said he's about to fire more officers because they know they don't need them. The crime has went down in the state.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit, though. Maybe I'm gonna be honest with you, right? When Robert Brooks got killed, it showed, rest in peace to Robert Brooks and his family, man. I send my condolences because that was a real serious thing, right on national TV. But before he passed away, you heard nothing about New York prisons and the correctional officers and anything like that. They didn't care. Then once this brother died, and they showed on a camera, like, because it was like brutal. That shit was like I never seen nothing like that on TV where people can actually see what goes on in prison, right? Where they can see with their own eyes, right? Because a lot of times people think that people in prison deserve what they get, whatever they got coming, right? A lot of people think that, like, but we still humans, there's still people in there. And what I seen when that happened to Robert Brooks, it really broke my heart, dog. Because because I've been in there and I tell people about these stories all the time. How the police, when I was on Red Onion State Prison, the police they starve you, they beat you, they abuse you, they put stuff in your food, they do all these things. But we never seen it on camera, like the world, right? So the world got the opportunity to get a glimpse of what they do to us in prison. And I think all of this shit is shenanigans just to show a form of unity towards the police, saying that, hey, it's two ways you can look at it, though, Mikey B. Like, we're not going for this no more, so we're going to show our presence, or the diabolical version of it, which is we're going to show up, and we're going to take the tax dollars, right? We're going to take your tax dollars to make y'all believe it's bigger problem than what it really is, and it really is not, right? Because, like I said, they have plenty of COs that sign up every day. You only need a high school diploma or a GED to be a correctional officer. So people are lining up by the minutes to be officers. So for them to show that type of force, I just think that is, I think it was just a gimmick, man, just a scam. And, for people out there who don't understand what I mean by that, I want to be clear. Prison, when they depict prison on the news or whatever, they make it seem like a bad place, like we animals, we're not humans and things like that. But what you've seen happen right before your very eyes goes to show you who's really the animal. And it wasn't us. You know what I'm saying? So,
Salute. That's right. We locked in. We live on Hood Love. I told you, bro, you got to start streaming from your laptop. So you can also stream directly to official prison talk when you come up here with us, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm actually doing it now.
So you streaming to official prison talk?
I'm about to do it right now to see how to do it.
Stream it. It says it right at the top in the right corner, right?
Yeah.
Stream it to your audience. You know what I mean? But this is a great, like I said, this is a great show right here. We had to make sure we came and get y'all this information. Because, and let me tell y'all the conditions. I've been in lockdown situations. I have participated and led work stoppages. We didn't shut prisons down ourselves. When the conditions was bad enough, we stopped working. We stopped going to the mess hall, and we done locked prisons down. We done did that before. And I have been in lockdowns that were initiated by the COs and the officers.
Mm-hmm.
In these type of lockdowns in New York State, you can't use the phone. You can't get a visit. You can't go to the mess hall and eat regular meals.
Mm.
They give you cold cuts every day.
Yeah.
Um, cop out sandwiches like peanut butter and jelly, no matter how long it is, or that's all you're gonna get. You might see some milk in the morning with boxes of cereal, but you're getting that everyday cornflakes or Rice Krispies with some, 2 slices of bread, and some butter, not toasted bread, just bread, and a fruit, maybe an apple or banana. For lunch, you're getting bologna and cheese out of a bag, a plastic bag, bologna and cheese. They're gonna come to you and they're gonna come down and tear the National Guard, the police or whoever. They're gonna come to your cell with these sandwiches, and you have to eat this way. You cannot take showers. You are in your cell for the duration of this lockdown. You can't take a shower or any of that kind of stuff. These conditions it makes your prison life, it makes it so much worse. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead, bro. I know you've been in some of these before.
Yeah. I can relate. I think that's a national prison structure, because as you was locked up in New York State, I was locked up in Virginia as well as Ohio, right? And they have this similar type of structure, especially in these supermax prisons, these lockdown prisons, because a lot of times people in those supermax prisons, those lockdown prisons, they're forgotten. Like, people don't even acknowledge that you even alive no more when you locked up in Red Onion, or when you locked up in ADX, or you locked up in prisons that's structured like that to isolate you. 23 hours in one, I'm saying, right? 23 hours in the cell, 1 hour rec. When you're in those type of institutions, Mikey B, I'll be honest with you, you're kind of like buried alive, right? You really don't have no voice, right? Because you're really in a dungeon, in a space where nobody hears from you unless you call your family. But in terms of the lockdown situations, so like in Ohio now, and as well as, I'm not saying Virginia, but Ohio, I know for sure, they have these tablets now, right? They got these little tablets they got. And with these tablets they allow you to stream music, call on your family, even have visits on these joints, right? Some prisons in some states are more advanced than others, which I come to learn, right? But these phones in your cell, they also turn them off. They turn the phone in your cell off. So you can't even reach your people because they ran by the same GTL system as New York or wherever else. They all monopolized. It's a monopoly. They raping the game. They taking over the whole industry, and they can control and dictate who you communicate with and who you can't communicate with. So for me personally, when I was in them prisons where they lock you down, you can't take showers, 3 days. Yo, man, that shit is like, think about that though, Mikey B. Really think about. I want the people out there who might have not experienced this experience that we talk about. Everybody have not experienced it, but if you have empathy, if you can feel, you will understand where we're coming from. Just think about not being able to take a shower for 3 days based on some shit somebody else did.
Right.
This is the shit we go through in there. So, I really want people to understand that prison is really a place where even people that we consider thugs and gangsters in society, is even inhumane for them. You know what I'm saying? It's even hard for them to survive in these places. And I think that this shit need to change, Mikey B. And these are the platforms we're using in our voices to do so, because we lived it. We ain't write no book about jail and psychological classes. We actually experienced it, we lived it, and we understand the effects of it, the traumatic effects of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And even with all the stuff that we got to deal with, it's like this is like added stress. This is like added stress to the whole thing, and it's being put on these prisoners now by the officers. The officers are the ones that are really instituting all this stuff, and they are the ones that are making it hard for these people to just do their time now, because they don't want to come in and do their jobs for whatever reason. Whatever you got going on with the government, y'all supposed to keep that between y'all. That you enforcing this on the other people in the prisoners that's doing their time, bro. It's horrible, bro. It's horrible, bro.
Horrible, man. That's why I tell people every day, I try to talk to these young niggas, because it's kind of hard for people to understand something that's going to happen to them later on in life, right?
Right.
But I do want them to understand this, like, yo, a lot of times you don't understand what's about to happen to you when you live in a certain lifestyle, like in the streets. And a lot of us don't understand what's ahead of us, right? But I'm gonna tell you this, man, they strip you naked. They strip you of all that you know. And it's just a little bit of us who has enough strength to make it through that shit, Mikey B. You know what I'm saying? Being in a whole box 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, that's a real hard time. And we had to endure this shit. So, like, when I see, like, how they put these National Guards and putting it on the news and shutting visits down and all of this stuff, I have no choice but to look at it as propaganda. And for those who don't know what that means, that just means it creating an illusion to make you believe something that's not true. And what's really true is this. They fucking us over in them jails. They starving us. They send us out of prison after 20, 30 years with shit, nothing. What you think you gonna do when you get out? You're gonna rob somebody.
Or they give you $1,000 now. They used to give you $40 before. Or they give you $1,000 now.
Yeah, and that's crazy, man. So I just be wanting people to understand, man, like sitting in the cell for 23 hours a day, you know, that shit is not sexy. Not being able to take a shower because they shut the prison. That's not sexy, man, at all. So at the end of the day, Mikey B, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I just think what happened to Robert Brooks, rest in peace and condolences to his family and anybody that can empathize with him. I think what happened to him, being that it happened on camera, like, you know, this happens every day though. You know what I'm saying? What people don't know, what happened at Robert Brooks happened every day in these prisons. It's from state to state.
Right.
But it just happened to be seen on this camera and people showed it. So right now, I'm just telling you, they don't care about Robert Brooks. They don't care about the average nigga in jail. Only thing they saying is, listen, we're going to fake like we care. We're going to shut these prisons down, act like we cleaning them up. And at the same time, it's going to be the same what it always been, taxpayer dollars. This is what you're paying your taxpayer dollars for. It's not the redemption of prisoners. It is strictly the assassination of prisoners. You know what I'm saying? That's,
right.
That's if you ask me.
But you got to remember what they put these correctional facilities in these neighborhoods to build up those neighborhoods on the backs of black people. 7 specific communities in the urban areas of New York. They took all those people from those areas, put them in prison in these areas, and they built those prisons up. At one time, Clinton Dannemora was like, that was the worst place in New York State, bro. It was worse than Brownsville or any other place you think about, bro. Real talk. And that's when Governor Cuomo, he came and said, yo, listen, we are not going to over incarcerate people anymore to give you a job. We holding people over their time. We hitting people at these boards and we doing all that stuff so y'all can keep a job. No, he said, go get you a real job. Them communities was built around these correctional facilities.
Facts.
And those correctional facilities is gone. They don't got nothing. That's why they picketing and rioting, because they trying. And let me tell you something else they doing. When you do a crime and you catch a case in those communities up there, they are over prosecuting you. They're gonna give you 8 to 10 years now. When they used to give you 1 or 2, 3 years before, you getting 8 and 10 years now, because now they are securing you in their facilities for another 8 to 10 years.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? They are securing, and you got to remember, us guys that been in prison for 20, 30 years, we done met grandfathers, fathers, and sons.
In prison.
Right? And guess what? On the opposite side, in the prison cells, we have seen grandfathers, fathers, and sons from our communities go into them communities and taking care of their grandfathers, fathers, and sons, bro. Families are in those correctional facilities, bro. And they want to see that stuff thrive, and they want to see it get bigger, and they want more instead of less, bro. You see what I'm saying? They want to over-incarcerate us like Eve James said, salute, sis. They want to over-incarcerate us so they can take care of their families, right? Keep us in there for as long as possible, even over the amount of time. When you showed you should be back in society so they can take care of their kids, bro. We got to start thinking about this, man.
I agree with you.
We got to boycott prison. We got to boycott going back to jail, bro.
I agree, bro.
Man. We got to shut that shit down. If we don't go to jail, we shut that shit down, bro.
You know what's crazy though, Mikey B? To add on what you said, because you brought a whole new dimension to the conversation, right? And I actually, as you were saying this shit, Mikey B, I was seeing it because I seen it with my own eyes, how they hire the grandfathers, the fathers, and the sons. When I was in Red Onion State Prison, right? Before I got there, they opened up that prison in '99, which is in Virginia, right? It's in the mountains of Virginia. They blew these two mountains out and built the prison. And within these prisons, they hired everybody that's around the town, which were coal miners. So before the prisons got there, they was in the coal mines just digging up coal and shit. Right? And then I realized, because I did 22 years in prison for the audience, I did 22 years in prison. And I'm 22 years in prison, I did 14 different prisons. So I was in 14 different prisons in 22 years. Right? Kick me out here, kick me out there. This is the truth. And what I realized is that they build prisons right inside the cities of every city that you're in. For example, I was locked up in Ohio. I was in Warren Correctional Institution, Lebanon Correctional Institution. These two prisons is right across the street from each other, right? Literally. I could go to Warren and look outside the window and see the yard of Lebanon, right? So what they do is
that's how Collins go on in New York. That's how Attica, Wyoming,
right across the street.
Green and Coxsackie, right. Washington and Comstock. I think Marcy got jails like that right around it.
Right across the street.
Right.
You can talk to them on the yo.
Right.
Right. So that showed me right there that prison, and I want to say this to the audience. I want you to hear what I'm about to say. And I want you to really hear what I'm about to say, because this shit is really real, what I'm about to say. Prison is not a form of punishment. It's a form of business. Once I understood that, think about it. A TV, 13-inch TV costs $250 in prison. You could buy an 80-inch TV for $250 on the street, right? If you look at all the materials that they sell in prison are overly priced. So what they're doing is not only are they oppressing you, the one who committed the crimes, to go to prison because you had no money. That's why you was hustling and robbing and shit, because you had shit. So when you get in there, you oppress, and then they oppress your family, your mother, your brother, because now they gotta be the ones to buy the TV for you. So it's the prison, and people don't get it twisted. It's not about who's guilty or innocent. Right? It's not about that. They don't give a fuck about. They don't care about that. What they care about is if they can maximize your value, and what your value is $30,000 to $60,000 per year. That's how much they make off you.
It's
of every individual.
About 125, because whatever the state pay, the feds match.
So they matching it.
The Fed is matching. You got to remember, these prisons federally funded as well. A lot of the programs are federally funded. FRP, a lot of the ASAT, a lot of these programs are federally funded, bro. So they get money from the state taxpayers. They getting paid for them, and they getting paid by the feds as well, bro. Inmates are worth about $130,000, $160,000 a year.
A year.
And
Did you hear that, y'all?
We getting yakisobe, we getting Hungarian goulash, wheatina, some Skippies, and bad health. Anytime you go to the clinic, they're gonna try to run you off. They're gonna tell you to drink water. They're gonna tell you to drink water and go and drink water and go to what you call it. Drink water and take these ibuprofen.
So what you're saying is this, right? Out of 120,000, we just guesstimating that they make off us yearly. They probably spend about 5,000 on us in terms of our food, our clothing, our shelter, right? So they profiting about, let's say, $90,000 yearly off of every inmate in prison. So that changes the perception of the game now. When you start talking about money and you start comparing it to a sheepskin coat or Averex or some gold teeth, because that's what we is, gold teeth, Averex, or sheepskin, just some fucking merchandise. Once you start comparing it to that, prison systems start making more sense to you. You start realizing why they locking niggas up.
But you see what they did now, what they implemented, right?
What's that?
Medical release.
Oh.
Instead of footing the bill for you when you're about to pass away and you got all these medical conditions, now they give you medical release. All right, we're gonna release you now because we ain't trying to foot this bill. It's bad for business, and we keep you in prison with all these ailments, right? With all these ailments, you sick. You got to do all this. Doc, go ahead, go home, get up out of here, because we ain't trying to foot that bill. We ain't trying to play for, if you got cancer, whatever you got going on. We ain't trying to pay for it. So now we're going to give you medical release. All this stuff is business, bro. And let me tell you something. Them COs got a great union.
Yeah.
They're not prosecuted for killing people and beating people and doing all the stuff they're doing because their communities, they don't want to prosecute. The DA has to want to prosecute you. Right now, if me and you will commit a crime, the DA doesn't have to prosecute. And that's what they do with correctional officers. When that stuff comes to them, when they committing the crimes, they're not prosecuting them, right?
They sweep that shit under the rug.
No, look, they talking about prosecuting all these officers for Robert Brooks, and this is what they are really campaigning against because they know all the bullshit. They do the prisoners in there, and they know once you crack down on one facility, then you're gonna crack down on them all.
Domino effect.
You're going to crack down on them all. So what they want to do is keep on abusing people in prison, bro. They live on abuse in prison, bro.
Man, they doing it right now.
Bro. They live on that, and they want immunity. They want immunity to be able to abuse people, bro. That's what they fighting for. That's what immunity. That's what this is all about right now, to have immunity to kill people, to do public lynchings in prison and not be held accountable for their acts, bro.
That's a fact.
That's what this is all about, bro.
I agree.
This is about Robert Brooks right now.
Robert Brooks. Rest in peace. Hey, Mikey B, you know what's crazy? I have to reiterate this shit for the people out there that seen it. I want you to really, really think about what he had to endure. I can't really relate to it because I've never been killed before. I never had my life snatched. But I know what it looks like when somebody's doing it to you and the pain that it caused somebody's family to see it on the camera like that. You heard? Right. And I'm going to say this to y'all out there because I know a lot of people that come from the areas we come from, urban America. It's not just urban America now. It's white America as well. A lot of people go to jail now. A lot of people break the rules. It's just what it is now, right? But to go into prison with a couple years and then lose your life in there or get your life snatched from you is a different vibration than just going to jail and doing a bid, you heard?
Right.
He was murdered, son. Like, bodied on camera. Like, y'all seen him getting choked out. Y'all seen him screaming. Y'all seen him crying. Y'all seen the police laughing, high-fiving, kicking each other. Like, you seen the pain. And that shit was, like, something I never really would think that society would ever be able to see. Like, we seen it in prison. We seen niggas die in jail all the time. But at the end of the day, for society to see it, this is definitely about Robert Brooks, man.
You see this right here? What Mike Velez said? They're sticking together, and we, the people, have to learn from this and stick together as well. Check it out.
That's a fact.
These COs is sticking together so they can legally lynch us in these prisons. But guess what? When Robert Brooks got killed, them brothers in that prison, nobody went on strike. Nobody stopped working. Nobody did nothing. It was just business as usual for our peoples, bro. And let me tell you something. When they opened up 5 Point Correctional Facility, right? I've been to 2 facilities when they first opened them. Upstate box, and 5 Points Correctional Facility. I went to that facility when it was first opened. It was so bad. They didn't have stuff in commissary. They was trying to give us a lot of food in the mess hall, but the conditions were so bad that dude stopped working. Dude was like, yo, we're not going to work. And we worked. I didn't work in the mess hall, but I was in the mess hall building. So I got together with the guys from the mess hall, people, some other homies, and some other neutral cats. And we said, we ain't going to work. If you stop the mess hall, then the whole jail is shut down.
It shook down. That's a fact.
So you can't get no food. So we stopped the mess hall. We shut the whole jail down, and the conditions was better. I came back to 5 Point later. in later years after I did that, and the conditions was better. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. The New York State prisoner is kind of beat down, and everybody trying to go home. Nobody standing up for nothing. There's no united front in New York amongst the prisoners, bro. It's not like California. It's trailers. People got a lot more incentives to just handle conditions. And you got a few, revolutionary old timers and a few people, that's sticking together and trying to hold a line, but you can't do it alone. They're going to just, if it's like 10 of y'all in a whole jail, they're going to just get y'all out the jail, get y'all 2-3 years in a box and be like, yo, they some troublemakers because everybody, the population ain't behind y'all. You see what I'm saying? When I did that in 5 Point, I think they gave me like a year in the box. They gave me a year in the box for that. So I got a light amount of time because I didn't work in the mess hall. I was only a porter. They tried to get me to clean up. I ain't coming out. We ain't coming out. You see what I'm saying? The mess hall ain't coming out. I ain't coming out. Them dudes that worked in the mess hall got more time. They got like 2 or 3 years. But I was only a porter. They tried to get me to give out food and clean up. I'm not doing that. They had the counselors out there cleaning up. They had the COs cleaning up.
Oh, they don't like that.
Y'all got to do that.
They hate that.
But we don't stick together, bro. And until conditions is always going to be bad for us, until you got people out here getting locked up, boycotting and picketing, and the people in prison ain't doing nothing. They ain't writing a grievance, bro.
Oh yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Putting up no resistance.
That ain't gonna work.
Them dudes, they got cell phones. They see what's going on. They ain't using none of that to implement change amongst themselves. You see what I'm saying? You show some resistance, or your conditions gonna ever be the same or worse. You see what I'm saying?
But I want to say this to you though, Mikey B, because you know this part of the game. You know how many times I've been in prison and dudes got something going on and they don't want their spot to be blown up, right? So what I mean by that, some niggas might have a good situation going on in the joint, right? And they don't want their spot to get blown because they living good. They understand, I don't care about these niggas. I'm doing me. I'm doing good. So that's a sacrifice a lot of people's not willing to make, especially in these different states. Like when I'm telling you, like, I don't know about New York prisons, but I was in federal and state out here in Ohio and Virginia. And these prisons that I was in, I never really seen them resist against the police unless it was, some racial shit, right? Be honest, right? Other than that, I didn't see the police in Red Onion State Prison, which is a very, 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 very serious place, right? I seen the police not feed the Crips, right? To be down with the Bloods. They thought by them not feeding the Crips, the Bloods would be more happy, right? Because they're supposed to be the enemies or whatever, right? And I seen them do little psychological games like that, right? To play one group over the other. And the only time I ever seen dudes recognize it and was willing to put their commissary to the side, their phones and, their visits and stuff like that, is when the police beat some of the homies up, Crips and Bloods, right? Other than that, and that was by force. So what I'm saying is a lot of times brothers in prison, niggas in prison, whatever you want to call it, right? They become, I wouldn't say institutionalized because that's not a proper word, but I would say they would become comfortable in these situations, right? Where they just say, fuck it, it is what it is, And I think that's just all designed that way, right? I'll give you a better example. For those who've been in prison, let me give you a better example. For those who haven't been in prison, I'm going to give you a perfect example. If you're in a house full of 50 to 100 prisoners, you live together all in there, and one person do something wrong that the police don't like, he'll shut the whole block down, the whole prison down based on this one person behavior. What you think that's going to do? That's going to make everybody go at the prisoner, right?
Right.
Yo, son, you got us locked down. I got to cool my mom's got to fit, right? So they do a lot of things to mislead us and to keep us going at each other, right? So until we understand that the real enemy is the time that we're serving, right? The time. It's not the time is the enemy that we're serving, which is the judge, right? The one that gave that shit to you. There's nobody around you. You might got drama here and there, but overall, it's designed for us to fail. It's designed for us to fail. So when you see a person like Barbara Brooks, rest in peace, pass away, and there's no rebellion in the prison, that means that they had decimated the strength that revolutionary warrior in us, man. We have been broken down.
Right. But like somebody was saying, like William Jones was saying earlier, we ain't come to prison. We didn't come to prison with that mindset.
No.
We came to prison divided people.
Facts.
We came to prison fighting against our own people, killing and destroying our own communities.
All that.
So in jail was just business as usual. We don't care. We just go out about our day like nothing ain't happened, like everything is everything, and like that person can't be you tomorrow. See, that's the problem. When you walk past that person, when that happens, that could be you tomorrow.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like even when I was in Elmira, I had in 17 and 18, I went to Elmira, and one of the Hat Boys, he was a younger boy, you know, he was a younger man, excuse me, and you know, he was beefing with the cops, Pure, salute to Pure, the Hat Pure, and he was beefing with the cops, and you know, the cop, he went back towards the cop. We walking by, they spent him because he had a jacket on or something. You know, he couldn't go to the yard. And so the cop, you know, the cop is much bigger than him. You know, Pure is kind of short. So once this cop spin, you know, I'm going to wreck. So now I stop. And we the homies stop. We stop like when they see me stop, we stop like, yo, what up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we like, yo, Pure, go ahead, because and everybody not like that in the prison system. People is not gonna stop. They're gonna walk by you and act like they don't even know you keep going to the wreck, you know, while they going upside your head or what's ever going on and showing no like resistance or no support for each other, bro. This is regular stuff in prison, bro. Some of the illest gangsters that you see out here or that you heard of, these dudes are done did the same things, bro. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't really standing on that line against, you know, helping people or against oppression that we was facing in the prison walls, bro. You see what I'm saying? They was not fighting against that, bro. You know what I mean? A lot of these dudes that got slapped up by the police and just took it on a hop, like regular, like nothing. Don't write a grievance, don't say nothing. Like, yo, I'm going home. I ain't even worried about that. That ain't about nothing. But if that was a prisoner that did that to you, you would have stabbed him 11 times.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, it's that we gotta, like you said, they killed the spirit of the warrior, but that didn't happen behind the wall. That happened in the community. That happened in the home. That happened. That they been did that. That happened generations ago. That's something that got to be reinstilled in the black men. That got to be reinstilled in our communities and our people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's all about the money. Nobody don't care about nothing else. It's no more morals. There's no more integrity. It's all about who got the bag. Forget what you got to do to get it. Look what's going on in the music industry. Look at all these stories that's coming out about how these men was abusing these other men to get to a bag, bro. You see what I'm saying? That's all loss of dignity. That's all degrading things that people are do right now for a couple dollars, bro. Nobody don't care as long as I'm getting to it, as long as I got a couple dollars. Nobody don't care no more, bro. You see what I'm saying? And that's bad, bro. It's like that's really the worst thing that we facing right now. You know what I'm saying?
I
that's
agree with you.
We facing, bro.
I agree. Hey, Mikey B, that shit was so greatly articulated, right? What you just said, right? That I had to really analyze it, dissect it, and digest that shit as you was giving it to me, right? Because what I learned is that this is about to be some deep shit I'm about to say. Now, I hate to say this shit, Mikey B, but I have to say it, right? But I realized that the spirit of the 90s and the 80s, when we was standing on shit, you know what I'm saying, no longer exists, right? Where you had, like you were saying, morals and, you know, honor amongst thieves and all of these different things, right? Those things don't exist anymore. It's more so now. People are willing to do shit, but they ain't willing to suffer the consequences. That's why people tell like at an all-time high right now, right? They telling on everything and anything. Even the kingpins are telling on the drug addicts, right? Kingpins telling on the drug addicts, right? So the whole world is backwards to me now, right? So I look at it like this, Mikey B, and this is, and I want audience to understand out there. This is from my heart. This is just what I feel. When I went to prison in the 90s, I felt like this was a part of the game. And that's because people wasn't telling on you back then like that. You get caught up, you got caught up, it was on you. Now, if you commit a crime, you have everybody willing to tell on you. So it's like, now, why would you even want to do this shit, right? Because somebody's going to, even your man, to tell on you these days, right? You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this. I think they stripped us of all our virtues, all that warrior shit we was on, the thoroughness, salute, pay admiration. When we came to prison, people gave us books and shit. You know what I'm saying? They told us to read a book. Now
they giving you a book now, but they're gonna give you something else. They're gonna give you Mobster 3. You know what I'm saying? The Hitman 4.
Yeah, all that.
The Sex Chronicles. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna give you, the autobiography of Malcolm X.
No,
they're not gonna give you, Soul Dad Brothers.
No,
they're not gonna give you certain people that the elder, the G's that still they're gonna give you that. They're not gonna give you a Sada by Sada Shakur. They're not gonna give you the stuff that gave us, blood in the eyes. They're not gonna give you that. They're not gonna give you that stuff. A lot of that stuff don't even let those books in no more. A lot of those books, they catch you with those books. They try to get you a ticket for a lot of those books.
You get a ticket.
Real talk.
Facts. So I just want people to know out there, like, everything that's going on right now has been designed this way. I know we sound, I know, because a lot of people like, man, these niggas be talking all this intelligent shit, smart shit. It's just because when you go through some shit in life, man, you get experience and you start realizing like, damn, this shit, So I just want y'all to know out there in society, man, that the reason why they have these National Guards and all this shit in these prisons is just to make you believe it's something bigger than what's really going on. They just doing a camouflage effect to make it look like they are cracking down on the crime in the prisons when it comes to killing inmates like Robert Brooks, right? But it's all bullshit, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure they're being sued or something right now.
Right. You see what this says right here from Big Shaw? It says, Mikey, have you heard what the request to end the strike is? They want to get rid of the cameras and open the box back up. Think about it. They want the camera going to beat you up and throw you in the box.
Woo!
Why would you want the cameras going? Why would a good, honest police that's just doing his job, why would you want the cameras going? Why would you want the cameras going if you dealing with integrity and you only doing the right thing by the prison population and you only doing your job? Why would you want the cameras going? Why? Why would you want the cameras going? Because they want to be able to kill black people without having to face the responsibilities and take accountability for that stuff they doing in the prisons, bro.
That's a fact.
That's all about. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it's about
right there, bro. That's the whole story of that. That's the whole story of that, bro.
They want to kick your ass without nobody seeing it.
Right. I'm telling you, bro. We in a really, really bad space, you heard? We in a really bad space right now. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why people like us are needed. There's people like us who's needed because you got to think about all the people in prison that did all this time, that suffered, came home and said nothing. Right? They just kept it moving. So at the end of the day, we are reaching people because we sharing our stories. And at the end of the day, some people that's going to listen and understand the magnitude of what can happen to your life. You could ruin your life. At the end of the day, not to end up like Robert Brooks, rest in peace. Not to end up like Mikey B, who did 27 years in prison. Not to end up like me, who did 22 years in prison, so you don't have to be affected by this shit. You won't even have to be thinking about this shit. Stay out of prison. Stay out of jail. Think about the moves you make before you make them. Watch the people you're around. Watch who you surround yourself with. These are the things that's going to keep your ass from going through what we're talking about. It won't even apply to you, right? But at the end of the day, if it does apply to you and you live in this lifestyle, we are preparing you for what's to come, which is ass whoopings by the police, the whole segregation, fights, stabbings, and the rest of that shit. But mainly the oppression by the government. The police is the worst. When they tell you to squat, think about, remember Mike being saying squat, open your butt cheeks and all that shit. That's fucking harassment. That's sexual assault.
Yeah, man. Like I said, nobody's willing. And let me tell you something, man. Salute to all the people out here working. Salute to the
Thanks.
lawyers. Salute to the lawyers that come to the aid, the Legal Aid Society. Salute to organizations that. Salute to Jay Renee. Salute to
Jay
all
Renee.
the citizens that's out here working harder than the people in prison for them. Sometimes I seen people work harder. I be coming out here, I be watching. I watch the work that people do out here. Regular citizens, regular community people, bro. They work harder for the prisoner than the prisoner works for himself, bro.
Dang.
They start putting in work, bro. Let me tell you something. You know how much work me and my wife was putting in for me to get out of prison, bro? You know how much fighting I had to do. You know how much stuff I had to get into as far as, and let me tell you something, I had to do it with the pen. You know how much money we spent in just copies and legal documents, sending them to the attorney general, send them all over the state because counselors was trying to mess my paperwork up. I'm beefing with COs. I'm hollering at the Legal Aid Society. They trying to set me up. They trying to put me in the mix of all kind of stuff, bro. You know how much work we had to put in, bro? That was the most work I really put into my life to get home.
Dang.
I put more work in just to come home than I put in to fight my case. Being honest, bro. I put more work in to get out than I did fighting my case, bro.
Hey, yo. I'm saying I don't let words go over my head. You just said you put more work in fighting to get out than you did to get in.
I'm telling you, bro, it's easy to get in. It's easy to get in. And I had a good lawyer. Salute to my bro Ski. We was up here talking. I had Scott Berschneider. He was like one of the best lawyers in Queens at the time. And I really got the minimum for my case. So I got a good, but I was wild. And I started banging. I was in a gang. I was banging.
Yeah.
And I caught a lot of new charges. So I actually tightened the chains on myself. I made it harder for my release with all the stuff that I did in prison up until like 2006, 07 when I started working and getting programs. I got my GED early, like the first 5 years I was in prison, I got my GED, but I was still gangbanging. So I was still tightening them cuffs, regardless of what education I did. I was doing more in the field as far as for them to release me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We put in more time and more work on each other than we putting on getting our freedom, bro. And at the end of my bid, when it was time for me to come home, I did so much bullshit in there. Just being honest, bro. I did so much bullshit in there that I had to work that much harder to get out. You see what I'm saying? I had to work that much harder to get out, bro. But me and my wife, me and my family, we put in mad work, mad letters, had the community support me, a lot of people behind me. So I'm glad that we all got the success of my change and me being out here and me be able to speak from this perspective, bro. Because
and still being out here though.
Right.
That's important.
Right.
Mikey B, let's no matter what nobody see out there in society, right? Nobody, whatever they feel about prisoners, whatever they feel about whatever the fuck we did, right? At the end of the day, you're a success story, bro.
That's true.
You are a success story, bro. Of course we want more, we're gonna get more. But when I look at you and I look at myself and I look at the other brothers, the Moshe's, the KK's, just the many brothers that's been released over the years, we are success stories. Of course, some of us fall to the wayside. That's why it's very important to embrace the ones who are consistent and continue to defy the odds. That's why people should embrace us more, because we are what their kids are going to want to be after they get out of prison. Because guess what? It's only one process, right? Bookings, reception, prison, release, right? So what the hell you gonna be after that process is what really matters, right? So I do want to say to you, Mikey B, because there's a lot of little niggas out there, and even a lot of old niggas out there who can hear what we saying, can hear from a million different voices, and still choose to go to prison, right? And might be the next victim, like Robert Brooks, right? Even though they can hear what we saying, right? So for those people out there that choose to do that, right? I pray for you, but at the same time, just know and understand when you get in there, right? Nothing's going to change unless you change it. So, you know, Mikey B, at the end of the day, man, I just be feeling fucked up. They be putting us in there at 18, 19 for 30, 40 years. And when I seen Robert Brooks get killed like that, he didn't have a lot of time. He didn't have a lot. He didn't have 20 years. He had like 6 years. You know, he had kids. And for him not to make it out and people just sweep it under the rug, like this doesn't happen all the time, I think people need to wake up and realize that your child could be the next victim, man. Facts. They don't want cameras. Well, shit. If they don't want them cameras in there, you know what that means? They want to kill you and get away with it. Hey, Mike B, I know you've been beat by the police in there.
What?
I don't think nobody ever been to prison and has not been beaten by the police. Starved, you know, something, abused by the police. I remember one time Mikey B, the police was a homosexual police in there. And he was telling everybody in there like, yo, open up your butt cheeks and all this stuff like that. He was going too far. So it's things like that that should make you realize that prison ain't the place to be, man. Real talk, man.
Yo, you see this right here?
Yeah.
Listen to this.
The next time your train is delayed, the next time you're in a flooded station because infrastructure repairs were not made, I want you to think of this. Think about this. Next time you're stuck in traffic at 1:58 p.m., President Donald Trump tweeted, "Long live the king." I'm here to say New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. And we sure as hell are not going to start now. I don't care if you love congestion pricing or hate it. This is an attack on our sovereign identity, our independence from Washington. And this is...
That's Governor Kathleen Hochul. Donald Trump is talking about long live the king. Yo, listen, we got some stuff heading our way, bro. What Donald Trump did when he bypassed all that stuff, he's trying to turn this into a kingdom. Understand? See, we missing all this stuff. Everybody just voting and acting like everything's everything. Remember who his favorite people were. They were all dictators from across seas.
Russia.
He loved the way them dudes run their countries.
Yeah.
And now he's talking about long live the king.
That's a tyrannical philosophy.
It's about to get nasty. I'm telling you, America, we got some stuff coming to us. Y'all sleeping and everybody talking about all this other stuff. And I'm not saying, you know, don't get your little record, don't get your, you know, your enjoyment, entertainment, but understand what's going on in the real world right now. We got a president that made people strike the Capitol that's talking about long live the king.
And then he freed all of them. Remember that?
Right.
Not only did they strike the Capitol, he freed all of them. They all out. Even the one that was sentenced to 18 years.
Right.
They all free. So that's when you talk about a dictatorship, I can see that because in the form of dictatorship, you got to come in the form of a friend, right? So what they do, they get all the hip hop artists because that'll blind us. You know, he got Chef G, he got Kodak Black, he got all these niggas on his team, right? All the kingpin drug dealers, the influencers. He has the influencers on his team, Mikey B.
Right. Right. But like I said, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on out here. It's a lot going on out here, man. We gotta watch. You know, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, man. Real talk. It's a lot going on, you heard?
I agree, man. Hey, Mikey B, man. I do want to tell the people out there in the world, those who can hear me, man. Hey, yo, stay away from prison, man. I'm telling you.
Listen,
Yo, that shit, it sets you back
if
decades.
they want to go to prison, just like people are being killed out here, they being killed in prison too. R.I.P. to Robert Brooks.
Yeah, they been.
Right now in New York State prisons where they are doing this strike at, them people is not showering, they're not eating right, they're not getting visits, they're not getting proper workouts. They can't go to the gym. They can't go. They can't go and get their hour or two or whatever they were getting. They can't speak to their families. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be stopped all medical trips. I don't even know
all that.
You know what it's like? Let me tell you something. When a lockdown, you know how hard it is for you to get out your cell if you have a medical emergency at this time right now. You know how hard it would be for you to get out your cell to go somewhere on a medical emergency right now? I've been in prison with these lockdowns. They're not trying to let you out your cell at all. If you get out your cell, you lucky. You gotta be almost dying, or they gotta really feel that you're gonna die for you to get out your cell, or you might die on the way.
That's
they
a
really
fact.
don't care.
They don't give a fuck.
Really don't care. This is bad for a prison. These lockdowns is like, especially these lockdowns instituted by the officers.
Yeah,
administrators. Most of these lockdowns is really the same, but if the National Guard has to step in, that means the facility is understaffed. They don't even have enough people to run the facility correctly. So now, whatever happens to you, whatever emergency you have, they can say, like, wait a minute, we were understaffed. We couldn't take them.
No, that's a fact.
They're going to use that. They're going to say, we were understaffed. We couldn't take them. You heard?
Hey, son, listen, word them up. I was in the prison where the National Guards came. I was in a prison called Youngstown Prison. It's called NEOCC, right? Northeast Correctional Center is a federal prison in Youngstown, Ohio. And it was during the COVID. Remember the COVID? So when the COVID came, all the CEOs got sick. And, I don't know if y'all know, a lot of these prisons is private owned and shit. Like, they owned by just regular people and shit, like corporations, not the state, not the government, just people who invest in prisons. They run these shits. So they ran a little bit different. So when the COVID shit happened, all these CEOs got sick, Mikey B, and they removed all the CEOs in 2020, right before I came home, and they put the National Guards in there. They came in there deep as hell. Those who remember 2020 Youngstown Prison, Ohio, y'all already know how it went. It was so many deaths. So many people was dying in there. CEOs was getting sick. It was crazy. And they brought these National Guards. And the National Guards was like, they wasn't like CEOs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like CEOs, some of us know them. They, we see them every day. These dudes was more so like, shut the fuck up. Go that way. Do this. Do that. It was more very oppressive when I seen them. So I could imagine, because I seen it firsthand at NEOCC, when the motherfuckers came up in there, how they approached us. And you got to think, they don't want to be in there. They don't want to be in no prison, because National Guards are people who are really civilians that they call for a job when it's time to get busy. So basically, National Guards is not military all day like the Army, they're getting called in to do this. A lot of the National Guards are regular people that work regular jobs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They just civilians for real who retired basically from the military or whatever the case may be. They're not on duty like the Army is in Saudi Arabia, right? So that means they call these people in who got regular lives, tell them to come patrol the prison.
Right.
They're not trained to deal with prisoners. You know what I'm saying? They're not trained to deal with the everyday issues that happens to prisoners. They're trained to tell you to shut the fuck up, go that way, and that's that, to implement fear. When I seen them, they seem like they was coming to kick somebody's ass if you said something wrong. They didn't remind me of those CEOs. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think. Not only is the environment different, but the energy is different in there when these prisoners and these people see National Guards. You know what I'm saying? With sticks and shit. You know what I'm saying? They got sticks and helmets and shit on. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no regular shit. So, you know, man, at the end of the day, man, I just feel like all this shit is just a big ass illusion to make the people of America or wherever you at believe that they handling business when in all reality they just doing propaganda to me. You know, they're just making it look like they're helping when in all reality they ain't doing shit but getting some more taxpayer dollars. But like I said, Mikey B, the average person don't understand it since they look at prison as a business. Once you look at it as a business, don't look at prison as who's right, who's wrong, who's guilty, who's innocent. If that's the case, we wouldn't have this many innocent people in prison, right? It's a business. That's all it is. And once you look at it from that perspective, like a Walmart, we're like items in a Walmart, right? Once you look at it like that, you'll understand why prisons are operating the way they operating. When they put fear in people's mind, oh, we got to get the National Guard. On the contrary, that's a way for them to get some more money and to seduce the whole state to get some more money and say, hey, we got an issue with the gangs, or we understaffed, or we this, we that. It's just all a money game to me, man. And I just I can't look at it no other kind of way because I understand how they play out here with this prison stuff, man. It's just like slavery. That's all. I tell you that in the Constitution, you're a slave. You know what I'm saying? Fact. It tells you that. You know, people ain't reading it. It tells you when you get locked up, you are now property of the state. You are state property. You are no longer who you thought you was before you went to prison, right? You are now a product of the state, and that's how they're going to treat you unless we have people that resist, you know what I'm saying, and take on the identity, you know?
That's right. You ain't saying nothing wrong, bro.
It's the truth, man.
Wrong, bro.
Just keep the little niggas. Just with that being said, man, I just want to tell people out there, man, you know what I'm saying? This is real shit because I'm fresh out of prison, just like Mikey P. We ain't been out that long, right? So when I see what's going on in society and I fought like a motherfucker to get out of prison, Mikey B, I did everything in my power to get out of there. 22 years, man. I went to school, classes, all types of shit at the end of my bed, but I did it. And to see, you know, what they doing to people out there, giving them no opportunities. So when you shut down the prisons, there's no more school. You know what I'm saying? There's no more programming. There's no more redemption. You shutting people growth down, man. So that's I look at it from different perspectives, Mikey B. When you lock a prison down, there's no progress, man. It's none at all. So.
Right. Yeah, bro. But yeah, this was a good one. You know what I'm saying? We tapped in with the peoples. We let them know what was going on. You heard?
For sure. We're gonna bring damn homie up here, man, and see what she talking about with this tomorrow, man. It's something like that this week.
We pop back out, man. You know, we just wanted to let the people know what was going on in real time.
Yeah, man.
You know, we're gonna tap in, you know, official prison talk, hood love, we locked in, we all fam. This is just regular work, you know, regular stuff as usual, you know what I'm saying?
It's very important work.
Oh, yeah, but it's regular work. Salute to Jay Renee, salute to everybody tapping in. Eve, James, Wax, AP, Scott, Swizzy, Ville, William Jones. Salute to everybody that tapped in. You know what I'm saying?
We know we love you, Jay Renee. We love you, Jay Renee.
But we're gonna keep y'all posted on this story, all up and coming news. Salute to my brother Shabay. You know what I'm saying? I was up here with him. I had seen Shabay over there when I was in Albany for the Robert Brooks, you know, for the rally for Robert Brooks.
Yeah.
I seen him up there and we was kicking it. Here we go right here.
It's good to see them people fighting the fight, ain't it?
Oh, my brother Fashion. Fashion.
Robert Brooks. Robert Brooks.
Charbanger fashion, you know what we do. I'm focused down for Robert Brooks. Robert Brooks.
No doubt.
You know what it is. You know what we doing. Charbanger fashion, you know what we do.
No doubt, man.
I seen a
Hey,
lot of
Mikey
people.
B, man, that's to see you giving back, man.
Peace. We don't get no peace.
Yeah.
That's Tripe Gangsta and Moshe.
Look at my brother Mo.
Peace. We don't get no peace.
Hey, you know, hey Mo, man. Mo hit me up about Robert Brooks, man. Look at that.
Man, dude, that's Man, dude.
Look at man Duke the Warrior. What else, son?
You know he gave me a hug. You couldn't see the hug, yeah.
That's my son. He out here marching. Word, man.
They go Yellow Boy, Yellow Boy, Brave Dave.
Brave Dave. We out here. No doubt, man. Hey, man. Rest in peace, Robo Just. You know what I'm saying? Peace of love, man. The homie said that. I want to give a shout out to my homie Moshe. Me and Moshe grew up as babies together, man. He told me about that Robert Brooks joint, and I was on it ever since, man. Yeah. Y'all niggas really putting the work in, son. Well, it was Marcy. Word.
That's why they doing it, you heard?
Hey, yo, man. Hey, yo, son, that's good work right there, son. I'm proud of y'all niggas, though, son. You know what I'm saying?
That's why they doing this. That's why they doing this. That's why they doing this, bro.
Facts. I knew that off top. I knew once I did the math, I'm like, hold up. They never did nothing like this and made it big, serious, you know, for people in society to see it. They do things as secretive. For them to do it out in the open like that, I knew it was about Robert Brooks, bro. I knew it had to do with Robert Brooks and the fact that there's so many other Robert Brooks in society that they don't know about. And they just don't want people to know that this happens all the time in prison. All the time. Niggas get their ass beat by the police, especially in some of these white prisons where you in the mountains and shit. Yo, they kick your ass, man. I seen it. It's been done to me. So, unfortunately for the rest of us, we didn't meet our demise like Robert Brooks, man. But at the end of the day, man, we are all Robert Brooks. Every person that been to prison, you know what I'm saying? Every parent, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that understand what the system does, we are Robert Brooks, man. So I want to give a big shout out to Mikey B. I want to give a big shout out to Moshe. I want to give a big shout out to all the brothers, man, the sisters,
Free
man.
Jay Burton.
Yeah, free Jay Burton. Y'all already know that, man. Free Jay Burton. He be home soon. Official Prison Talk. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share our channel. We got Damn Homie in the building. We got Jay Burton in the building. We got Mikey B in the building.
Damn Homie, what's up?
Damn Homie. Hey, look, Damn Homie, you already know, girl, when you get home, you see this, man. You know what I'm saying? You have a wonderful night. That's our dog. She about to do some major shit with us, man. Mikey B, look, check this out. Free all the people that's been in prison for hundreds and hundreds of years, would it seem like, giving niggas life sentences. Free to all them brothers that get out and change their life, man. You know what I'm saying? That have a different outlook and different perspective, because those are the people that's going to change the game. Those are the people that's going to tell these little niggas not to go back to prison. The people like us who's been in there and experienced this shit. Not nobody writing no book about prison, who's never been to prison, and who's making money off these prisons, can tell you the story like we can.
Right.
Because we really know it. We really understand it, and we survived it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, we living our best life. We happy.
You already know.
Smiling. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a lot of work to be put in. Right. Because shit like that happened to Robert Brooks shouldn't happen, man.
Right.
So until we get a solution to all these problems, Mikey B, we only gonna be halfway happy because that shit still affect us even though we free. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I appreciate you, Mikey B. Make sure y'all subscribe to Official Prison Talk and tap in with us, man.
Right.
You know, we just being honest and we being real with the shit we talking about, man.
Right.
That's about it.
Thank y'all for tapping.
Rest in peace to Robert Brooks, though.
R.I.P. to Robert Brooks. You know, we catch y'all on the next one. This is a great live. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the people that tapped in. Share the live. Let the people know what's going on. Hit the like button on the way out. Make sure y'all subscribe to Official Prison Talk TV, Hood Love TV, and we locked in, man. Salute. We out of here. Salute, bro.
100, bro. You already know, son. Peace and love, y'all.
Have a good night,
Stay safe.
y'all.
Watch your people, man.
Have a good night,
Make sure your next move don't get you a life sentence in prison. You heard?
Right. Salute.
Facts.